everyone. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. I have a special, authentic innovator for the show today. Can you go ahead and announce to the world who you are and where you're calling from?
My name is Dr. Scott Kolbaba. I'm an internist in general medicine, and I'm calling from one of the suburbs of Chicago, where it's a beautiful day, about 70 degrees. The flowers are coming out, and it's about time.
Yes, and I would love to hear about your past leading up into your present. Can you tell us that?
Sure. I always wanted to be a doc, and so I got into college, and I was pre-med, and I was attending a class that I didn't like very much, and it was embryology, where you look at about 1,000 slides of embryo and try to figure out where things go and come from. And I thought, oh, this is pretty boring, and I was working on a slide with a colleague, and she said to me, "Isn't this wonderful? This is exactly what medical school should be all about." And I almost threw up. I thought, if this is what medical school is all about, I want nothing part of, I'm not part of it. So I changed my major to economics. I graduated with an economics major, got out into the work day world, and realized I made a huge mistake. I really should have gone back to this. So I decided to enroll in some night course. And the interesting thing was I needed organic chemistry. So I was working full time, so I needed a night class, and there were two other classes offered in Chicago. One is at Roosevelt University downtown, and one at Aurora University. When I was working at Aurora, so I enrolled in Aurora, and there were about 30 or 40 books in the bookstore. So I thought, this is great. There's going to be students, and I enrolled in the class. I got to the first class. The professor walks in and says, "I'm sorry, we're canceling the class." My heart sunk because I had to take the class and I had to get to medical school next year. Otherwise, I would have to continue with the regular job and be a full failure in life. So I sat down to Roosevelt University where they were offering the class. I got to the registrar. And I got to the front of the line and I said, "I'd like to enroll in organic chemistry." She said, "I'm sorry, we've got two classes. We're still one. There are 8 students. We have a waiting list. I'm sorry you can't get into it." And I said, "Well, this is my career. I'm going to be a failure in life if I don't get into organic chemistry." So she said, "But when I talked to the professor, he's the only one that makes the decision upstairs." So I went upstairs to the 3rd floor, was waiting for the professor. I've been a practicing internist ever since.
Tell me about organic chemistry. Tell me what kind of structure and literature is organic chemistry?
never again.
So you work in internal medicine now. Tell me about like what kind of practice did you do and what's internal medicine?
COVID, you name it, right?
Don't you mean myocardial infarction?
Yes,
I know a little, just a little.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I see whatever comes through.
Well said. And can you tell me about some stories of your practice with internal medicine?
Sure.
Do you know any more like ways for a 13-year-old on up to adult that we can change the depression? Because you have the environment too. They may like school and then go home to their environment and it could be abusive or disruptive. What do you say about that? What do y'all do at the hospital to help that child? Because usually they go in and out, and it's like a rotating conflict. So, how do your hospital and you, especially doctor, help with? I know they have to find their purpose, but what kind of activities do they do at the hospital? I was watching the news and something came on that rung a bell in my brain. Okay, they had a school that was actually decreasing the number of fights. There was a lot of fights, but they were decreasing. They were hiding, should I say, the number of fights that went on in that school. You know, and there was a lot of depressed children in high school. Then on
Yeah.
top of that, there were a lot of high school students getting robbed by homeless people that with knives and stuff. What do you think about that, Doc? You know, there are guardian ad litem mentors and there's just regular mentors. Do you think that helps too with helping a child build their confidence?
That's what we did for our kids, and I think everyone can do that.
You know, I was thinking about something. We're going to move on, but well said, Doc. I have a question about RNA and DNA. I was just talking about it. And I wanted to know, can you give us a brief history of what RNA is and what DNA is?
They,
Question. Now I got a couple of questions.
sure.
Wasn't RNA first in the body before DNA, or was it DNA before RNA?
There's probably DNA before RNA, but they actually came together.
Okay, and the next question, as you said about your daughter, well said, and bless your daughter. I am so happy for her that she get to work with protein. So, can the RNA and DNA be altered if, like, I have a hypothetical question. Could it be altered if we wanted to make a artificial intelligence? Because I'll tell you this, you can go on YouTube and you can never view every video on YouTube, every bit in your lifetime. It's so many videos. So if we had something like an artificial intelligence type thing where we can put it into RNA and or DNA to help reach a better capacity of our brain. Do you think that that's possible for the future if they want to?
It's amazing what's possible for the future. It's also a little scary.
Yeah.
What we, but you know, they're splicing in pieces of RNA and DNA into people and modifying their genetic makeup. So that would help with certain genetic diseases, and that's all in the works.
You've been in medicine for not over a century, but under a century, but close to, Doc. Tell me what you have seen that was so different that you couldn't even diagnose it out of your.
When I,
Oh, go
yeah,
ahead.
when we did
Which drug is that, Doc?
well, it's a drug that would treat drug fails and has effects or causes induced complications. They just lost 700 million.
What can we do? Well said. What can we do to reduce those prices and make great medication come to market for lower prices?
You know, the issue under you know, I don't know what the solution is. We need to look after our own people. On the other hand, we need to keep the pharmaceutical industry looking to research and produce new phenomenal drugs.
Yeah,
It's a dilemma. It's probably beyond my comprehension.
understood. It's that technical. Tell me about your book. We're crunched down for time, so tell me about it very briefly, and then I want you to tell me also about an excerpt from your book, because you told me it's about what it's about, but let's recap.
A little girl that doesn't have any friends. It's kind of lonely. She finds some seeds in the woods. She plants them in her garden and forms a little bush. The bush is also ugly. Good reading, good nighttime book for little girls that are going to be facing the bullying and the social media and all the things that they're going to be facing, and they need to realize that they're special. And all girls need to be special.
Where can they find this book at?
Amazon, Barnes and Noble, all kinds of places online. Most.
One last time, what is it called again?
Claire's Magic Garden. It's a fun read. It's got some nice pictures, and it's got ladybugs that you have to find to the pages.
So how many children, have you been to any book sign-ins or like promoted it?
Yeah, it's become an Amazon bestseller in children. So.
Cool. Yes, I'm so happy for you. How can if you had to give a piece of advice to an entrepreneur that wants to go back and innovate themselves or wants to go to be a doctor or a nurse practitioner, anything, what kind of advice would you have to give them?
When I interviewed at Rush for a medical school interview, the dean said to me, Mr. Kolbaba, you don't have what it takes to become a doctor. I was devastated.
Whoa.
I was an economics major. My grades weren't very good. So I had to go back to night school, improve my grades, studied like crazy, and I finally made it. So the advice I would give is never, never, never give up.
Well said. If y'all are out there watching, give this man a round of applause. He's been in medicine for like 40 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're 70, right? You don't even look 70.
I'm afraid so.
Yeah, you know a lot, man. You said that there were no colonoscopies, no CAT scans. You've been in the market and you're very smart and intelligent. Do you have anything to say for like 2 minutes that we can talk about before I get off with you, the line? Do you believe in Sigmund Freud's theories?
He's got some interesting theories, and we believe in. He's a lot of theories, but I believe in some of them. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. How can the people reach you?
Let's see. The website is clairesmagicgardenbook.com.
Cool. All right. How about LinkedIn? Can they reach you on LinkedIn if it's a professional innovator?
Yes, I'm on LinkedIn also. little negligent responding to my inquiry, so I'm going to go. I'll get to that today, Kim.
Honor. Round of applause. Thank you, Dr. Kolbaba. You take care. Stay on the line for a second. Y'all take care. Be safe. And I'll see y'all later. Bye.